Lord Panton, thank you so much for this inspiring talk. It's so good to see you again after 25 years. I was 11 years old when I witnessed the handover of Hong Kong. Well, as you understand the issue so well, from the perspective as a former governor, may I ask you a perfect, honest advice to the people who have to remain in Hong Kong? Thank you.
That's a good one.
Well, it's one which is good and impossible. Last summer I was on a walk in a lovely park in London, Richmond Park, and it was the azalea season, with my dog. And four young people came up to me. And one of them said, "Do you remember me?" I said, "Face seems something," in other words, I didn't. So he said, you had your photograph taken with me at Oxford, holding a yellow umbrella during the umbrella revolution. And he turned out to be doing a medical DPhil at Oxford. And I'd obviously met him at some event when I was talking to the students. And he was there with his girlfriend and two friends. And they were all from Hong Kong. And his girlfriend started crying. And she said, "We don't know what to do." They were all either medical students or one of them had qualified as a doctor. "We don't know whether we should go home. We love Hong Kong, but we just don't know what to do. Would it be all right if we went home?" If you're honest as a politician, you have sometimes to say, "I can't conceivably answer that question." You can ask people to behave more bravely than you'd ever be prepared to behave yourself. You can talk to them about the fact that the ideas which they have will survive longer than the ideas which are being used to try to crush them. You can say, like Nelson Mandela, you can't imprison a dream. But it's cliche. And I honestly didn't know what to say. I sort of burbled away and invited them to come and have a drink. And I don't know what they will have done. But I get that quite often, and it's very painful. I simply don't know what I should say. I know what I would like to say, but I wouldn't be honest if I was saying it. It'll all be right. China will collapse in 3 weeks' time. Who knows? And anyway, what would that be without violence? So I find it very difficult. What I do say to people who are still there is that they should take care, which doesn't mean giving up their values as families or as individuals, or the values they think should determine the way in which their society runs. They should hold on to what they believe in, but should, I think, try to avoid what they believe in getting them thrown into prison for. I mean, some of the things that people are thrown into prison for in Hong Kong nowadays are completely manic. But it's not a very good answer, is it? But it's about the best one I can give. So I'm sorry about that. I hope it will all be all right. I'm sure that the values that people have in Hong Kong will survive longer than the whatever communist hacks call their opinions. But I can't guarantee it, and I can't give you an end date or a sell-by date. So it's a bit like my wife hates one thing I do, well, several things I do, but she hates it that I'm occasionally obliged at Oxford to preach, which she thinks makes me sanctimonious. And I've got to preach about life after death because of the readings in about 2 weeks' time. And the trouble is I can think of metaphors and I can think of good lines of poetry, and then I start to run out of steam. So sometimes maybe best to say that you're not going to give a very good answer. But thanks for the question.
Thank you very much.